What is up, everyone? Welcome to another exclusive interview here on Pro Wrestling Ponderings. I'm your host, as always, James Lascuola. Today's guest is 1/3 of the Rip City Shooters and the current reigning and defending AIW Absolute and Intense Champions, the Intense Icon himself, Joshua Bishop. Josh, how are you, man?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I'm loving that intro I got right there, baby. That's what I like to hear. Rip City Shooters represent, baby.
Shout outs to Rip City, shout out to Wes and Brickster. I mean, are you ready to dive into this, Josh?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's get cracking.
I mean, just starting off kind of last year, wrestling as a whole was pretty much on hold for a good portion of early 2020. How did you keep yourself busy during the pandemic?
I got a PlayStation 5.
Oh, wow. That's one of the lucky few, and that is honestly the way to keep busy. I mean, what have you been playing on PS5?
Lately, in the last probably, I don't know, maybe 4 months since the world's pretty much starting to open back up a little bit. I really haven't been playing much, but when I hop on every now and then, I'll play like Madden or 2K or like some Warzone or something with some of my friends. It really just depends what my friends are playing, pretty much.
Oh, I feel you there, man. Probably the best way to do it. And again, one of the lucky few with the PS5. But, I mean, one of the big matches that unfortunately was the victim of the pandemic was originally your no-roped barbed wire match with Matthew Justice for the AIW titles. What was your initial reaction when the match was first canceled?
Just sad. To be honest, sadness. Like, I remember the week before, everything shut down literally on like that Monday going into Gauntlet for the Gold, which was supposed to be me and Eric Stevens. And then just the way that I was just sad, not only for myself, but really for like the AIW as a whole, just because I really felt like we were on just an unreal like fire run of like everything is hitting. Like I like from the Slumber Party Massacre going into 2020, I thought that we were just killing it. Like the whole company, everyone was busting their ass, everyone was killing it, like, and we were just having a good time. Like the locker room, like the vibes were great. Not that they weren't great a few weeks ago or whatever. Like it was great to see everybody, but like we were just everything was clicking, everything was hitting. Like the crowds were there and they were fire, like they were rowdy, and it was just an experience. Like the AW experience for that year was just wonderful for like all of 2019, and then 2020 I thought it was going to be bigger and better and just on fire. And I thought like a lot of the ideas that Justice and I had for the no ropes barbed wire and Tampa were really going to be just something like special and different, and I really wanted to do a no ropes barbed wire match a lot differently than, I don't know, like most people would expect, I guess, if that makes sense. Because I really thought that my I Quit match the year before was, I mean, pretty good, and I thought the finish was pretty different than most people had ever seen for like an I Quit match, and I really just wanted to do something even crazier, and I really wanted to top it, and I thought we had a lot more pieces to play with like Brickster and Wes and Fonzie, but sadly, that didn't end up happening.
And while it unfortunately did not go down in Tampa, it did eventually find a life in the Indiana Collective. I mean, when the match was rescheduled for Indiana, did you feel like the match needed to steal the show on an already stacked weekend?
I don't know. Like, I really wanted to go out there and do like something crazy, and I had a lot of crazy things, and people said that it was a good match or that it was wild and had its wild moments and stuff, but I just really want to run it back, I think, and I really want to do it different in front of a full crowd. Where, I don't know, I just really want to do something. I would love to run it back at the Odeon maybe, or something, just to like, I think there was a lot that we just kind of left on the table that I wish we would have been able to do, but like we just couldn't really do in like the time, like with the way the world it was at the time. So we just kind of tried to make like the best of what we could.
Oh, that's completely understandable. And, you know, as a fan that was really looking forward to the match, I mean, both times when it got announced, I absolutely think you two delivered one hell of a no ropes barbed wire match. But after dethroning Matt Justice in Indiana, you two, not too long after, joined forces in GCW as the Crazy Tough Enemies. What made you two come together to take on everybody else?
I mean, as much as we love fighting each other, well, why don't we just fight some other people as well?
Oh man, absolutely. I mean, it seemed to be one of the most unlikely forces, as you two had been basically putting each other through hell for practically like the year before.
Yeah, I mean, we still do even when we team up. Like, we have like a we just use each other as weapons more than anything else. We don't really think we have any tag moves. We just pick each other up and throw them at the other one and just hope for the best.
No, absolutely. And I mean, you two, again, putting each other through the ringer in a great series of matches that is still gone on to the previous AIW shows that returned to Cleveland. And I mean, which of your series with Justice is your favorite match and why?
I think the one where we went off the balcony probably would be my most favorite, just because I think that to us, that was the match that we think we needed something the most, because the month before we had a match and we did not click. Like, we could not get on the same page. We had no chemistry in the ring, and it was just really bad in a way. Like, I think it was right after my Slumber Party Massacre match, and like Justice is just Justice, obviously, so he has his reputation already. And like, I think we both just felt like we really let the IW crowd down, and we wanted to do something special. And then the people were there for the Lucha Bros, and one of them decided he just didn't want to get on the plane. So we just knew we had to do something special for the crowd. And it ended up, I mean, blowing up, and it was, but that was never really the intention. It was cool that like the balcony spot blew up or whatever, but that wasn't really the intention. Like, the goal was just to do something for AIW and for the crowd that was there, not to try and get Twitter likes.
And I mean, an absolutely crazy moment and an absolutely excellent match, might I add. But looking back at your formation of Crazy Tough Enemies in GCW, could we possibly see you down the line back inside of a GCW ring and possibly having a rematch against Iron Beast?
I mean, yeah, if they want to get the smoke again, tell them to set it up. Tell GCW to sign the contract and then send me the PayPal, and I'll be there.
Oh man, I mean, the way that first encounter ended in a double pin, I mean, we really need a winner, and I don't know if it's going to take a crazy stiff for it to happen, but I'd love to see it happen.
Winner? Didn't you see Justice pin him?
Oh man, but the way it got counted, man, I mean...
No, that was a CT. I'd say that was a Crazy Tough Enemy victory in my book. I've never lost a match, so I only have W's on my column.
Absolutely, I mean... And going into the match the next day and absolutely destroying Team Bussy of Effie and Alley Cat. I mean, I feel like if the GCW tag team titles come back to the States soon enough, I mean, I figure you guys have to be somewhere in that priority ranking for a title shot.
Yeah, I would hope so. Where are they at? Mexico? I'll go get them.
Well, going back to your AIW, where you're currently reigning as the Absolute and Intense Champions, I mean, you've taken on some great comers in the form of Colin Delaney, in form of Nance Warner, and Matthew Justice, the former champions. Who are some names in AIW you're looking to defend your titles against?
I want the best. I really want the best guys. I really want to use like my spot as a champion right now, and I guess the double champion, to show that I can do more than just have hardcore matches. So, I mean, I'll go in there and I'll have a technical wrestling match with Lee Moriarty. I'll go in there and I'll ground a high flyer like Trey Lamar, and I want to put on show-stealing classics with these titles, and I really want to show that I can diversify myself as a worker instead of just being a hardcore guy that can just brawl and do door spots. Which might be hard to do, and maybe I can't do that. Maybe I am just a hardcore wrestler, but I really want to try my best to be different and separate myself from the pack.
And I respect that a lot. Just showing that you're more than just hardcore. You're able to hang in there with any wrestler. But last in April, AIW made its long-awaited live return to the Odeon. I mean, what was it like returning there after over a year?
To be honest, it was very weird because it was like, I'll be honest, it was really hard to get into it at first. Like, get myself kind of amped up and like, I don't know, just like, not that I wasn't feeling it, but I was just like, all right, like, I was just really down about like the world situation and stuff. And I was like, all right, are we really coming back? Like, how's this gonna be? And then like, I watched the first match, and, like, okay, Tim Donst, like the crowd was getting crazy for Donst. I was like, all right, like the hardcores are here and like they're into it and they were getting rowdy, so it'll be good. And then like I watched Wes's match, and Wes killed it, and that really was like, all right, I got to go out there and I got to go out there like, all right, Wes, you crushed it, but I want to go out there now. I want to have a match 10 times better than your match, because I know that he wants to have a match 10 times better than my match, because we just want to be the best wrestlers on the show. That's not like negative or whatever, but we just want like the Rip City Shooters to be the best wrestlers and the ones that people talk about. So we'll do, you know what I mean? Absolutely. So I was like, and then when I was in the ring and Steve Guy hit the intros, like I was like, and like the crowd came up and they were making that noise and they were getting rowdy. I was like, all right, fuck the 2020, fuck the world situation. Like 2021, we're ready. This is the summer of the shooters takeover tour. Like we're about, like, let's get it. And I just wanted to go out there and crush it with Mance Warner, the guy that I was really looking forward to wrestle. I haven't wrestled him in a long time at a singles match. And he was the guy that I had one of my first singles matches against. And I learned a lot from wrestling him before, so it was really nice to wrestle a guy who's really one of the top indie wrestlers.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that match was an excellent match too, might I add. And I mean, again, you know, Mance Warner, one of the best right now, and you successfully defended against him. So, I mean, that's going to pump you up there in the rankings somewhere way higher.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, I was really but that match actually was the most painful match I've ever had. I took a suplex on the floor in that match, and I couldn't walk the next day at all. I had to go to this place and do physical therapy for 2 hours just so I could wrestle that night. Because I was like hot. Like, if people saw me at the after party, I was like crawling almost to like go to the bathroom.
Oh my!
And walk. I've never been in so much pain than after that suplex on the floor.
And I mean, I'm happy to see that, you know, you were able to recover and make it through another great match against former champ Matt Justice.
I can't believe that table didn't break. I mean, what the hell?
Well, you will be returning to the Odeon this coming Friday for major announcement, and you will be taking part of a major match as you and Wes will be tagging with To Infinity and Beyond to take on the team of Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, Smart Mark Sterling, and Swoggle, with their opponents having been on TV, and, I mean, Mark Sterling still being an active part of AEW today. Do you see this as a big opportunity, or is this just business as usual?
A little bit of both, to be honest. Like, it will be cool to be in... it'll be really cool, I think, for Wes and I, because they are probably two, or, well, at least, like, the Major Bros are definitely two of, like, the bigger named guys we've ever been in the ring with. So it'll be cool to, like, see where we stand, like, test our skills against guys like that. But Swoggle, I definitely am going to beat his ass because he blocked me on Twitter now, too, along with Wes. And so he's got some business coming for him. And then it'll be nice to tag up To Infinity and Beyond. I love wrestling them just because they're so good. Like, they're so underrated. But it'll be nice. I think it'll be a great, like, learning experience. We'll be on Friday. I'm really looking forward to it, actually.
Yeah, man, same here. I mean, it almost, to me, when I first saw the announcement card, it almost seemed like Team AIW versus Team Major Wrestling Figure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, if I were to pick an all-star team, so to speak, like Survivor Series team, I mean, US and To Infinity and Beyond is like a solid team to represent AIW.
And I hope we don't disappoint. I really hope so. I hope we can show that, like, to those guys at least too, that like AIW has some killers. Like, we're not like some scrub indie. I think it's the best wrestling company in the world, but that's just my personal bias, of course. But that it's the best place and it's the place to be, and I hope that we don't disappoint for the company because it is a big opportunity.
Oh, most definitely. And again, to recognize, I mean, you holding both major singles titles in AIW, have you considered possibly dipping into the tag division, maybe with Wes or Brickster, and taking the tag titles off the Philly Marino experience?
Oh yeah. If you watch Go for Broke, Wes is really gunning for that trophy, for that cash, and so we can take those titles off PME because we've been beating them up and down the roads in Ohio, all over the place already. And so we might as well do it in AIW and take their titles there as well. And I will be the first ever triple champion.
You all heard it here first. I mean, Josh Bishop, not kidding around. He's going for that triple championship. Now, speaking of Go for Broke, with it being such a unique sort of, concept for AIW, what were your thoughts when you first heard the concept for the show?
Well, actually, I was at the pitching. I don't know what you call it, the pitching table or the day drinking session, I guess we could call it, of what can we do to get some interest going and do something that's different than every other no fan show. And the Rift City Shooters' love for some Vince Russo-ass ideas was coming out, and we were sending about 1 million ideas to Thorne. But I really like the concept. I think that what the ended up finished product was I think it's very different. It's not like a traditional wrestling show. I really like that because it's out of the ordinary. It's like, and I'm sure that's what turns some people off because it's not just wrestling. It's kind of like, I kind of think of it like a game show with wrestling involved in it, but like you don't need to be the best wrestler to even win it almost, you know what I mean? Because you can just steal people's money or finesse, make bets, wheel and deal. Like, it's all about how you play your cards and like the characters of the show. I really enjoy a lot. I really enjoy Go for Broke actually a lot. It's probably I really enjoyed watching it. I really enjoyed I think everybody killed it. I think the matches were good. I think the backstage segments were good. I think some of them are so funny. I think Kaplan is hilarious. And I think it was good to get in depth also into the features on other people like TKD or Arthur MacArthur, guys that aren't really as heavily shown on these AIW shows. And I think it was just good to get it was just, I think, very good. If you're an AIW fan, I think that people really liked it a lot. And I hope that it brought some people in to watch more of the AIW product as well.
Honestly, I think, yeah, it's definitely one of the better concepts and, no fan shows out there. Because it kind of reminds me, as I was telling Dom Green in our interview a couple months ago, it's almost like, wrestling meets The Ultimate Fighter with the reality kind of segments and backstage mixed with a game show with the active kind of Biggins Bucks going around.
Yeah. And I like it. I think it's just different, which I like. I don't like when everything's the same.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you could film a bunch of great matches, but also having these kind of extra exterior moments with all the wrestlers and even just the profiles, the small things like that. It makes a whole world of difference.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, as we turn the corner in this interview, I first got to say I'm sorry to hear that your Portland Trail Blazers have been eliminated from the playoffs.
It'll be okay. I don't know how it'll be okay. I don't know if Damian Lillard will be on the team next year. I hope he will be. If he's not, I don't blame him. Thank you for everything you've done for Rip City. I don't I would be frustrated too if I was one of the top 5 players in the league and my franchise just gave me a very mediocre roster, and I carried my team in every game. I would be salty also, so I can't really blame you. I hope you're still there. I would love it, but if you're not, like, I don't know, maybe don't go to the Lakers, but, like, I guess if you go to the Lakers, it's cool. I don't know. Like, I'd love to see you in a Cavs jersey, but that's not going to happen. That'd be my ultimate dream.
Yeah, man. I mean, as a Celtics fan who got bumped from the playoffs, I do feel your pain.
Where do you think Kemba Walker's going?
Man, I have no clue. I mean, I'm thinking maybe it might be a Lakers situation if they don't swing for Damian.
Okay.
But through the rest of the playoffs, who are you rooting for?
I guess the Suns? I don't know. Not the Nets. I hope the Nets fucking lose. I mean, I know they lost today, but I'm not happy they lost because of injury. I wish they would just get smoked. I mean, not a big Kyrie Irving guy or KD guy. So that's like my ultimate. Actually, you want to hear like my fantasy booking of the NBA being WWE or pro wrestling?
Go for it.
It would be the Nets win this year, and then somehow Russell Westbrook gets traded to the Lakers, and then next year in the finals it's LeBron and Russell Westbrook versus KD and Kyrie in like a best-of-7 series. I don't know why. To me, that's like just like the NWO like explosion, and then like Hollywood Elite versus the Wolfpack.
That actually makes a ton of sense to me, man. But yeah, I'm aboard the Suns train too. I mean, I didn't quite expect them to eke out the Lakers like they did, but I'm rooting for them. That's like the underdog story to me.
Yeah, but I don't. I wouldn't mind the 76ers. Also, I love Ben Simmons just because he just no fucks given, kind of like doesn't care about getting a jump shot. And to me, I just love that mentality. Like, who cares? I'm still going to be one of the best players in the league by just not shooting the ball.
Oh man, another one of my favorite teams here in the East. But what's one thing that you always keep in your gear or your travel bag?
One thing, razor blades and aspirin in case I have to get some color.
Makes sense.
Or in case someone else needs to and they don't know what to do, so I can give them a little teaching. Just poke your head a bunch.
Oh, wow.
Take this aspirin so your blood gets thin so you can get a lot of good blood.
Hey, good pro tip, I guess.
Yeah. No, but in reality, like deodorant probably. Or like a spray, a non-smelly spray. I try and make sure I always smell good in the ring. Just because no one wants to be the stinky guy. Or no one wants to wrestle the stinky guy.
Oh, true. I can only imagine having to, like, grapple with someone like that.
Yeah, like if you have like a 3 or 4, if you have like a Thursday to Sunday shows by like Saturday or Sunday, you're just like, maybe you've only showered once possibly. You gotta like make sure you're always smelling good.
Most definitely on that one. Now, is there any particular spots on the road that you always stop at, be it food or amusements or rest areas? I mean, what's a place that you always find yourself stopping?
I really like when I have to go to the South and I hit Zaxby's. I just love those chicken fingers, and that sauce is just unreal.
Oh man, that's another place I'm gonna have to put on my kind of bucket list of food stops, because I keep hearing Sheetz, I keep hearing Wawa, I keep hearing Waffle House.
I will settle this right now. Sheetz and Wawa are not special. Like, if these people that go on Twitter and live and die for a fucking gas station sandwich, like, let's step up the quality of our lives here, guys. Like, the food's not that good. It tastes like just like microwaved burritos and microwave sandwiches.
This is like the first kind of in between of neither are good we've had on the show so far.
I don't enjoy either. It's like the last resort. It's like, those nights when you're like, maybe you're like super hammered or something, or like you're super trashed and it's like, fuck, what's open? Like, all right, Taco Bell or whatever off the DoorDash. I guess I'm getting that. That's kind of like what the equivalence of Sheetz and Wawa is. It's like, that's like the mood you have to be in every time. It's like, fuck, that's the only thing that's open right now? I guess I got to get that. Like, can't be seeking that out. There's Chick-fil-A out there. There's Chipotle. Like, while we're traveling, like, come on, wrestlers. Like, let's step it up. Than a fucking gas station Sammy.
Well, gas station Sammys aside, while you're on the road, what are you listening to usually?
It depends who's in the car. If it's me and Wes, it's a lot of old school West Coast hip hop. It really just depends who's rolling with us. Like, if usually we got a lot of, I usually have a lot of hip hop playing, a lot of like old Nas, anything from like probably like the early '90s to like 2005, essentially.
Man, solid kind of pool of music to pull from it.
Yeah, a lot of West Side Connection.
Ooh, nice. If you could choose any superpower, what would you choose and why?
Maybe like Wolverine's like healing factor, because then I could just like have someone cut my arm off in a match, and then like people would be like, "What the fuck?" But I would just like grow it back the next day, so it wouldn't be too bad.
I can imagine the stuff you could pull in matches.
I could do some crazy things in matches with the healing factor.
Oh man, that'd be crazy to see, man.
I could get shot with a gun like Tommy Dreamer style, like how he wanted to have a sniper shoot him.
Oh my god, that's
you know that story?
I've actually never heard that story. I know originally when they were supposed to do PCO versus New Jack for Black Craft, he was supposed to get PCO was supposed to get shot by New Jack, but that never happened.
Yeah, so Tommy Dreamer wanted to hire a sniper to shoot him in like the stomach or whatever, or like just graze him essentially. But like Terry Funk had to talk him out of it, like saying like like it could go into the fans, like there's no chance we could get you to the hospital that fast that you'd live. Like the insurance, it was on like a pay-per-view or something. He wanted to get shot, and like Terry Funk had to be the voice of reason.
That's insane.
The voice of reason, Terry Funk.
Oh man, big shout out to Terry Funk. Oh man, do you have any pets at home?
Yes, I do actually. I live in a house with a few other people in Columbus, and we have Harvey the house cat.
Oh, I love cats.
He is really annoying. He climbs up blinds, like their ladders, and just rips them off the fucking hinges all the time. So we have like no blinds in our house. It's really annoying, actually.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, definitely a cat thing to do.
Yeah, he thinks that's a ladder, but it could be worse, I guess.
Oh wait, most definitely. Now bringing up an old debate that likes to surface from time to time. Are you Team Brett or are you Team Sean?
Oh, come on, dude. Team Sean. What kind of question is that?
Oh man, I mean, I love both, but personally, if I got to pick a side, I always have to pick Team Brett.
No way. Why? He's so bitter.
I mean, he could be bitter as salt, but that dude was crisp as hell in the ring with everything.
No, he's the most just bitter. He's just bitter Bret Hart. Just no.
Oh man, I gotta ask, why Team Sean?
Is unreal matches, unreal. Like this. Like, I love, like, the craziness and the madness of wrestling, and, like, I love shoot interviews, and, like, I just love it. It just adds to the legend, just, like, hearing how shitty Shawn Michaels was as a person, almost, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, like, good, like, I don't like him for, like, good reasons. I just love the insane and the crazies and the madness of wrestling, and, like, I just think he's so funny. I mean, not funny and, like, it's like not okay, a lot of the stuff, but it's just like insanity. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like the stories of like him and like Marty Jannetty like shaving people's hairs. Like shaving girls' heads.
Oh my god.
Just like being lunatics. Like, what is wrong with you guys?
And now, I mean, that's another first, I'll say, for the argument that we've heard for Team Sean. Definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, also, like, his wrestling is just, a chef's kiss. Like, and, like, just the way he came back from, like, his back being smoked. Like, I mean, maybe it's because I, like, grew up. I didn't know, Bret, like, literally, Bret Hart wasn't wrestling as I was growing up, you know what I mean? But Shawn was. So that's probably something to do with it. And, like, Shawn Michaels was, like, one of my favorite wrestlers growing up just because, like, he is the show stealer. And, like, that's what I want to be like. Not the show stealer, Josh Bishop, but, like, I want to steal the show. I want to have the best match. Like, I want to go out there and have everyone... Like, be like, when they leave, be like, damn, like, Josh Bishop or the Rip City Shooters, like, they killed it tonight. Like, I want to come back next month to see them. Or I want to go to IWTV and see what they got.
Oh, I totally see that, man.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for coming aboard for this interview. Please let the people know where we can find you, where we can support you. The floor is all yours.
All right, on Twitter, Joshua Bishop, and then that little underscore thing, and then on Instagram, I am Joshua Bishop II for Intense Icon, not the second.
All right, Josh. Thank you again so much for coming by, man, and thank you all for listening to this exclusive interview here on Pro Wrestling Ponderings. I'm James Lascuola, and I will see you all